So man makes plans and God laughs. And I've got to tell you today, he's laughing really hard. So last night, I had made plans to shoot a video. I want to do more vlog style videos instead of just this talking head. But as you see, we've ended up with talking heads. But it is what it is. So from that quote, that man makes plans and God laughs, I have that your capabilities are more important than your plans. And I'll present that as, capabilities are greater than your plans. And like, for instance, in this case, my capabilities as a YouTuber are way less than my ability to plan. So I had planned this elaborate video, and because my skill as a YouTuber just ain't there yet. And so, oops. And so here we go with what I actually started to shoot this morning, and you'll kind of understand my position here. Morning. It's about 5:45. Oh my God. So I'm laughing because I planned out this video last night, and it's about plans versus your capabilities. And just, I want to make the point that your capabilities are much more important than any plans you make. And what has me laughing right now is, as I'm pulling into the parking lot and I get all set up to do this, I realize I traded cell phones with my daughter. So I gave her my iPhone 16 and she gave me her iPhone 12. Well, an iPhone 16 uses a USB-C connector. iPhone 12 still is on lightning cable. The mics that I have are set up for a USB-C connector, not a lightning cable. So we're having to use the phone's microphone for this. It'll be what it is. So again, I had planned it one way, and well, oops, things went sideways already. But going on into this, it's like, look, I have a plan for the rest of the day. Making this video is a part of that plan. But at about 10 o'clock, everybody I work with starts coming online. They're over on the West Coast. I'm Central Time. So they're 2 hours behind me. And once they're awake and they're up and they start working, a lot of the time my plan is right out the window. We'll have outages. We'll have people who think that, oh, they have the most important thing I can work on. But, yeah. And it kind of comes into me being able to tell the difference between what their priority is, what my priority is, and what really does need to get done this day. So let's go in. I'm going to go hit this workout, and we'll continue this conversation. Man makes plans and God laughs. It's a quote. I've liked it for a long time because to me, it describes life. We run around making plans, thinking, we're going to do stuff. And meanwhile, other things happen. And yeah, I can hear the bros going like, oh, it just means you didn't plan. You didn't make a good plan. It's like, no, I'm sorry. You cannot predict the future. Sorry. It's the way things are. Stuff's going to happen. And that's why I'm big on having capabilities, being able to handle whatever comes at me. I'm able to do it. I'm prepared. Doesn't necessarily mean that there's a plan. It just means, okay, I get into software development projects and it's the usual stuff. Through my career, you get in, got a client, they've got their idea, and you guys make a plan and you're off doing it. And things happen that everybody in the room did not expect. Requirements that got missed. It happens. And you can choose to fall apart, or suck it up, move on, and keep going. And that's where being a capable person is crucial. Mastering the basics of your profession and just, fitness. I went into the gym today thinking I was supposed to do deadlifts. Turns out that's this afternoon. This morning it was bench press. And whole story there. I was at 205. I did 165. I'm a little irritated, but at the same time, I've lost a bunch of weight. I haven't done bench press in a long time. Went and did dumbbell bench press a while ago and just about crushed the tip of my finger off. So, we adapt and we overcome. And that's how you should be. Yes, do make plans. They're good to have. But don't expect everything to go to that plan. Things are going to change. In NLP, another common phrase is the map is not the territory. Well, the map is your plan. The territory is what really happens. Just going with that though, you can sit there, get on Google Earth, and you can look at London all day long. 3D view, look at the shop fronts. But when you actually go there, it's completely different. And that's just the nature of it. So build your capabilities, and that's what we're doing here. So my plan today is I need to build a service for our SRE practice to help keep track of all of the alerts that occur so that I can create reports that help me work with the teams to improve their software so that there are fewer alerts. However, when everybody gets up, what actually is going to happen, don't know yet. There'll be an outage, somebody will have some idea, and I'll have to navigate that. And being able to get, sometimes it's like, okay, they throw something at me and it's like, okay, I can, because I've learned the tools pretty well, I can take care of it very quickly and it's not a big interruption, doesn't throw me off track. But it still is a deviation from the plan, and that's where your capabilities come into play, or in this case, my capabilities. Anyway, let's keep it going and keep moving. So got home and got the dogs fed, got myself fed, and I'm getting some work done. But to the whole point of this video, right off the bat, very excited. So the reason I traded cell phones with my daughter was because I wanted to get a new iPhone 17, and her phone, which is an old iPhone 12, they were offering $800 for the trade-in. I don't understand the economics of it, but whatever. So went ahead and did that. But of course, they didn't have the particular phone that I wanted in stock, so that it had to be ordered. And at the store, they said, complicated thing. When I looked online, and it was like, oh, you'll get it Wednesday to Friday. But at the store, they're like, nah, it's back ordered. You won't get it till November 14th. I was like, okay, whatever. I can live with that. So, and I checked again yesterday, and it was still saying November 14th. Well, I get home, and I'm sitting here getting things set up. I get a text message from Verizon that, hey, your order's on the way, and it's out for delivery. I was like, what the hell? So I went, looked, and it turns out my cell phone is going to be here today. Well, my plan is to go to the gym this afternoon. Usually CrossFit's at 4 o'clock. Today I'm not going to go to CrossFit to work out. I'm going to go back to Gold's Gym to do my own workout, but same thing. But that's the time I usually do it. But signature's required, and so what's going to happen? I don't know. And also, we're coming up on my first DSU, so we'll find out what emergencies my day has ahead of me. I'm going to start working on this service now, and then, like I said, we'll see what happens. So we'll talk later. So DSUs are done, and so far, work-wise, things have been pretty chill. One of my product teams, I created a bunch of conditions for them, and they've been up and working, but they're like, hey, we're not getting, these conditions aren't triggering. So I went through and did, dug into them. No big deal. Figured out, oops, I didn't tag the pre-production ones correctly. So I use a webhook with GChat to send my notifications. The workflow, I don't know what I was thinking, is tagged looking for dev QA and UAT instead of PPE. All the conditions are tagged with PPE. Oops. So I just went through, actually, it's really easy. I just went back to the workflow and added PPE as one of the tags to look for on the conditions. And so that should have it fixed. They're supposed to test and let me know. And then apparently we're having some Azure outages. And so I checked my application, which sends email and SMSs, and it's working fine. So I'm out on that one. So I'm sitting here getting this service I'm going to build documented, and then we'll hopefully review it tomorrow or Friday so I can get started actually building it. So that part of the day is sort of actually going to plan. Amazing. I'm sitting here watching UPS. I'm watching the van with my cell phone drive everywhere but my house. Oh well. So anyway, keep this rolling and we'll see what else happens. So got through the workday and everything, and I got to the gym, had a pretty good workout. Deadlifts went well, and I worked on doing some handstands. Really pleased with the progress I've made. I've got to the point where kicking up into a handstand against a wall is absolutely no problem. I'd say 90% of the time I get up there and I'm able to stick it. I'm to a point where I'm completely off the wall, which I'm pretty pleased with this. What I'm working on now is being able to do an unsupported handstand. Eventually, I'd like to be able to kick up without a wall and just go into a handstand and eventually do things like handstand walks and all like that. And yeah, sure, handstand push-ups because CrossFit. But anyway, so here we are. It's the end of the day. The point of all of this is that, as I opened up, that, my capabilities as a YouTuber we're at the beginning. I hope to grow it. My capabilities in the gym have grown a great deal. When I started, 6 years ago with CrossFit, I already had some experience with starting strength, and I'd worked with personal trainers, but it never stuck. CrossFit stuck for me. And my capabilities in the gym have grown massively. I mean, I've got an L1. I'll be doing an L2 any minute now. It's just a matter of schedule and budget. And my knowledge of these things, I've gotten into peptides. My capability there and understanding of how to use peptides to do different things has grown a great deal over this past year. And 30 years of experience as a software developer, I've developed a lot of capabilities, coding, system administration, network setup, what we call now DevOps, the SRE role, all of these things. I'm fairly advanced. And in a project, when the plan that gets made by people goes sideways, and they always go sideways, I'm generally able to deal with whatever comes my way. And kind of my message to you is, don't so much worry about the plan. Yes, you do want to make a plan. The goal, what the outcome is. Outcomes and goals aren't quite the same thing, but you have a goal. Hey, I want to get employed. I want a job in an IT department, or I want to work for, one of the big FANG companies or something like that. Cool. In order to do that, you have to have the capabilities. If you don't know how to code, how to be a software developer, your plan is irrelevant. You need to first develop those capabilities in order to get and execute that plan. Because truth is, if you don't even have the capabilities, you don't know what to plan. So that's kind of the entire point of all of this, compressed down. Anyway, what I've got to do now is I'm going to have to sit down. What's really funny here is my daughter knows how to do this stuff really well. And I'm going to have to sit down and talk to her and maybe work with her to plan out a video and have her and I shoot it together. I've got a ton of vacation time. I've got like 400 hours right now between now and the end of the year. I'm going to lose a ton of vacation time by the end of the year. There's no way I can take it all. But I can take some time off to, maybe work with her. Hint, hint, since she's actually kind of helping me learn how to edit this stuff better. Anyway, that's where we're at. I hope you'll come along with me on this little adventure as I learn how to be a at least decent YouTuber instead of this trash. Like, subscribe, start the conversation, all the usual YouTube trash. And meanwhile, you have a good evening. I'll catch you with the next one. Bye.